Hi, I'm Alan. Growing up as a twin, people always said I got the better deal. The looks, the brains, and the charm. But honestly, my brother Eric and I were both doing pretty great. At least that's what I thought until everything went sideways. You're such a perfectionist, bro. Not everyone can handle your standards, Eric would joke during our weekly family dinners. Mom, or Diana as she prefers to be called in public, fancy, right? Would always jump in to smooth things over. Both my boys are perfect just the way they are. She'd give us that smile that made everything okay since we were kids. Dad, Robert, would just grunt from behind his newspaper. As long as they're both successful, that's all that matters. My girlfriend Rachel was the first to notice something was off. We were having coffee at our usual spot when she brought it up. Your brother seemed weird at dinner last night. Like he was trying too hard to be nice? Come on, he's always been competitive, but we're good. If you say so. She stirred her coffee, unconvinced. That conversation should have been my wake-up call, but I was too busy dealing with other stuff. First, my car keys disappeared, found them 3 days later in the garden. Then my laptop started acting up, losing important files randomly. Dude, you need better security, my best friend Marcus said when I told him. First the keys, now this. Something's not adding up. I brushed him off. Just a streak of bad luck. But then things got serious at work. I'd been leading this huge research project. You know, the kind that makes or breaks careers. Everything was going perfectly until suddenly it wasn't. Alan, these results don't match our preliminary findings. My boss looked like she'd aged 10 years overnight. If we can't explain this discrepancy... I stayed at the office until midnight, digging through months of data. Nothing made sense. It was like someone had deliberately... Maybe someone's messing with your work, Rachel suggested during our late-night phone call. Who would do that? The only other person with full access is... I stopped mid-sentence. Eric, we said simultaneously. Your twin brother who just happens to be up for the same promotion? Marcus chimed in through our three-way call. Man, I hate to say it, but this is getting weird. I didn't want to believe it. But the next morning, I found my backup drive corrupted. The security log showed the last access was at 3 a.m. from my brother's department. Family doesn't do this to family, I muttered, staring at the log. Sometimes they're the only ones who can, Rachel replied softly. Little did I know, this was just the beginning. My perfect family? That was about to become the biggest lie of my life. The next morning, I walked into another family breakfast, watching everyone with new eyes. Eric was typing furiously on his phone, barely touching his food. Got those quarterly reports done yet, little brother? He didn't even look up. You mean the ones you corrupted? Yeah, I fixed them. Mom's coffee cup clattered against her saucer. Boys, please, it's too early for work talk. Speaking of work, Rachel pulled me aside after breakfast. Something weird happened yesterday. I ran into Eric at the coffee shop near your office. He hates that place, says their coffee tastes like dirt. Exactly. And he was telling this story about your childhood, about how you broke your arm falling from a treehouse. We never had a treehouse. Dad was too worried about liability. Marcus called while I was processing this. Dude, those financial records you asked me to look into? Your brother's been making some interesting moves. Define interesting. Like regular transfers from your parents' account to his? Started right around when your work troubles began? My stomach dropped. That's impossible. Mom and Dad would never... I grabbed Diana's phone when she left it on the counter, something I'd never done before. The text messages made my blood run cold. Everything set for next week's board meeting? Alan won't know what hit him. Don't worry, son. Your father's got the board members prepared. They'll believe whatever we present. Marcus whistled low when I showed him the screenshots. Man, your own parents? That's cold. I need proof. Something concrete. The lake house. Eric always goes there to work on projects lately. The family lake house was supposed to be our happy place. Now I was breaking in through the back door, feeling like a burglar in my own sanctuary. Rachel kept watch outside while I searched. Alan, hurry up! Their car just turned onto the road. I was about to give up when I noticed the loose floorboard under Eric's desk. There it was, a leather-bound journal filled with his handwriting. Got everything planned perfectly. Mom and Dad are on board. They always like me better anyway. Once the board sees the evidence, Alan's finished. The position's mine. My hands shook as I read entry after entry. Detailed plans, conversations with our parents, every step of my professional destruction carefully documented. They're pulling up! Get out now! I barely made it through the back door before headlights swept across the front of the house. Rachel pulled me behind some bushes as Eric and my parents walked in. "Time to end this," I whispered, clutching the diary. "No." Rachel squeezed my hand. "Time to make them pay." Back at my apartment, Rachel and I spread the diary pages across my dining table. Each entry was worse than the last. Listen to this one. Mom suggested corrupting the backup servers first, said it would look like incompetence instead of sabotage. These people are your parents? That's straight up evil. Rachel photographed another page. Wait, here's something about your dad. Robert promised to convince the board it was all Alan's fault. Says he's been laying the groundwork for months, telling everyone about my superior work ethic, while dropping hints about Alan's instability. Marcus burst through the door, laptop in hand. "You're not going to believe what I found. Been tracking their emails through that recovery program I wrote." "Show me." "Check out these messages between Eric and your mom. They've been planning this for over a year." The emails filled in all the gaps, every coincidence, every setback, all carefully orchestrated by my own family. "There's a board meeting tomorrow morning." Rachel pointed at a calendar entry in the diary. "Eric's planning to present evidence of your incompetence. Not if I show up first." "Hold up," Marcus grabbed my arm. "We need to handle this smart. Let's get everything documented first." We spent hours organizing the evidence. Rachel handled the diary photos while Marcus compiled the electronic trail. By midnight, we had everything ready. "Time to confront them," I said, grabbing my keys. The family home looked different now, more like a crime scene than a sanctuary. Eric answered the door, his fake smile dropping when he saw my expression. "Family meeting? Now?" "It's nearly midnight. Now!" Diana and Robert stumbled downstairs in their robes, faces pale when they saw what I was holding. "Looking for this, brother?" I waved the diary. "Real sloppy, leaving it at the lake house." "You broke in? That's illegal." Diana stepped forward, maternal authority in full force. "Funny how that bothers you more than destroying your own son's career." "We did it for your own good," Robert tried his stern father voice. "You're not ready for that position. Cut the act. I have the emails. All of them." Eric lunged for the diary, but Marcus stepped in, blocking him. "Touch him and the copies go public tonight." "Copies?" Eric's face went white. "You really think I came here without insurance? Everything's documented. The diary, the emails, the financial transfers, all of it." "You ungrateful little—" Diana stepped forward, but Rachel cut her off. "Back off, now." "You're bluffing," Eric sneered, but his voice shook. I pulled out my phone, showing them the email draft ready to send to the entire board. "Try me." "What do you want?" Robert finally asked, defeat in his voice. "Oh, I'm just getting started. Tomorrow's board meeting is going to be very interesting." As we left, Eric called out, "We're family." I turned back one last time. "Not anymore." The boardroom fell silent as I connected my laptop to the projector. Eric sat at the far end, looking smug until he saw Rachel and Marcus walk in behind me. "This presentation isn't just about quarterly results. What's the meaning of this?" Robert stood up, but the board chairman waved him down. "Let him speak." The first slide appeared, screenshots of Eric's diary entries. "For the past year, my own family has orchestrated a campaign to destroy my career." Eric jumped up. "He's lying. This is clearly fabricated." "Really? Because I have the original right here." I pulled out the diary. "Want to explain these financial transfers from our parents' account, brother?" The board members leaned forward, faces growing darker as I clicked through the evidence. Emails between Diana and the IT department about corrupting my files, Robert's careful manipulation of board members' opinions, Eric's detailed plans to take my position. "This goes beyond professional rivalry." The chairman's voice was ice cold. "This is corporate espionage. We were protecting the company." Robert tried to salvage the situation. "Alan wasn't ready. By committing fraud, tampering with company data?" Marcus stepped forward, presenting his technical analysis. "Every deleted file, every corrupted backup. I traced them all." Security arrived to escort Eric and Robert out. As they passed, Eric hissed, "You'll regret this. Already sent copies to the police. Corporate sabotage is still a crime, bro." 3 months later, I sat in my new office, Eric's old position plus a promotion. Rachel brought in coffee and the local newspaper. Check out the headline. Prominent families fall from grace. Corporate scandal rocks community. Diana called again, I mentioned, deleting the voicemail, begging me to drop the charges against Eric. Fat chance. He's lucky the company didn't press harder. Just losing his job and reputation seems light. Marcus popped his head in. "Yo, you see the country club newsletter? Your parents got kicked out. Apparently, planning to destroy your kid's career doesn't fit their family values image. Heard they're moving to another state. Robert's firm asked him to retire early after the scandal broke. Your mom's charity friends all jumped ship too. Amazing how fast people scatter when the truth comes out." The intercom buzzed. My new team waiting for the project meeting. Life had moved on, better than before. "Coming to the housewarming party tonight?" Rachel asked Marcus. "Wouldn't miss it. Still can't believe you got that sweet place by the lake." "Yeah. Funny how the family lake house went up for sale right after Eric's legal fees hit." I smiled, picking up my tablet. Sometimes karma works out perfectly. Walking into the conference room, I caught my reflection in the window. No longer the trusting fool who believed in perfect families. Just a successful man with real friends and a clean conscience. Behind me, my old family portrait lay face down in a desk drawer, replaced by a new photo. Rachel, Marcus, and me at my promotion party. Sometimes the family you choose is better than the one you're born with. What would you do if you discovered your own parents were secretly working with your sibling to destroy your life? Would you expose them publicly like Alan did, or handle it privately to avoid a scandal? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever experienced betrayal from someone who was supposed to protect you? Remember to like this video if you enjoyed Alan's journey of revenge and justice, and subscribe to catch more gripping stories of family drama and sweet revenge. Your support helps us bring more stories like this one to life. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next story of justice served.